Hey everyone, professional angler Mike McLelland. And when I look back at my career and everything that I've been through, and I'm not going to go through all the details, but I mean, a lot of you that have followed me through the course of my career know that there's been some trials and tribulations in that time. There was a point in time where I didn't know if I was going to continue to fish professionally. And I've always felt like, God had a place in the fishing world for me. I took a little break one time. I sold boats for a while, but I stayed in the fishing industry. And then I was led back to professional angling through the fact that I actually lost my job as a sales rep, and it just kept looking like, man, is this really what I need to be doing? But it just continued to lead me back and lead me back. And when I look at what happened, after coming back in 2005, I had basically almost quit fishing the tour. 2005 rolls around, I fished the opens. I had actually not fished the top 150s that year. I win the Open Championship. The Elite Series all of a sudden begins, and I'm questioning that again. Lord, do I fish the Elite Series? Do I just continue to fish opens? And it seemed like every time I wanted to close the door, another door was opened. People that I didn't even know would call me and say, man, I really think you need to continue fishing. And I took that chance. My present wife, Stacy, talked me into going back to fishing full time when the Elite Series started. And what a blessing it's been. I mean, the first 3 years of the Elite Series, I didn't have the most awesome sponsorship deals, but the Lord blessed me with a win each of those first 3 years. Then all of a sudden, the doors open up and the sponsorship starts rolling in, and you get humbled a little bit. This sport is a humbling sport. I didn't win one for, 6 or 7 years, and then 2014 rolls around and things start clicking again. I win Table Rock, the Elite Series there. And just looking through the whole course of my career and the way that those doors just continue to open, make me realize that God has a plan for my life as a fisherman. I start every morning in the boat with a prayer. I mean, I'd never miss a morning with my marshal, my co-angler, whatever it may be, and that sets the tone for the whole day. And to me, I'm out here planting a seed every time I do that. And my faith in God has always been strong. I mean, I was fortunate that my parents took me to church at a young age. I found the Lord at a young age. And even though we all backslide from time to time in life, I know that I'm grounded in my faith in the Lord. And probably one of the coolest things was last year fishing at Table Rock Lake. I had never had Steve Bowman cover me in a tournament event. And we were actually at the Open. Steve Bowman was covering that event because I think James Overstreet was actually on the road somewhere else. And it was one of those situations that we were fishing the final day on a Saturday. And Bowman comes out. It's Saturday morning. He says, "Gentlemen, I want to ask you if you mind me doing something." He said, "Normally I cover the Elite Series on Sundays, but," he said, "this is my Sunday this week because we're not fishing tomorrow." And he said, you care if we have Bible verse time?" And I turned around, I'm like, "For real, Bowman? You want to have Bible verse time right now?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Dude, that's cool." And the first Bible verse he read that day was one that it really stuck that day. It's stuck ever since. And basically, that Bible verse is Galatians 6:9. And it says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And to me, not just fishing, but any athletic sporting type event or sports that you get involved in, you're never going to succeed if you ever give up. And I don't care if it's my faith in the Lord, if it's my desire to win a tournament or whatever it might be, I'm not going to give up, and God says I'm going to reap a harvest at some point in time. And to me, that was really a tone this year that Steve set with me, stating that and sharing that with me, that it's really, opened up a lot of things. I mean, now that the Elite Series has rolled on this year, I'm camping full time, have the opportunity to camp with a lot of great people. We get together, we have dinners, and having the opportunity to, maybe not just full-blown witness to people in the campground, but to start our meals with prayers, to, just plant that seed every now and then is a big deal to me. And that's where I stand. I mean, my faith is strong in the Lord, and I feel like that everything that I've accomplished is to His glory. And the harvest that I've reaped, God has allowed me to do so. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Cool with that?
Thank you, man.
You betcha.
Yeah, that was great.